Does this describe you or someone you know? You're a beginning Toastmaster, struggling with table topics. Table topics intimidate you big time. You're lucky if you can come up with 5 or 10 seconds of material. You never qualify for the balloting for best table topics because you can never come up with anything to talk about. If that's your challenge, I've got a solution. You can cheat at table topics. What? How do you cheat at table topics? It's simple. It's easy. If your Toastmasters meetings are well planned, well thought out, every meeting will have a theme. Those themes will be announced at least 2 or 3 weeks in advance, published on your website, or perhaps emailed out by the Vice President of Education. The Table Topics Master will most likely ask questions that relate to that theme somehow. So step 1, brainstorm all the different questions a Table Topics Master would be likely to ask relating to that theme. Step 2, for each of those questions, mentally, or possibly even writing it down, prepare a response for each of those questions. If you were asked question number 1, how would you respond? If you were asked question number 2, how would you respond? You can rehearse and refine and rework these responses well in advance of the meeting. Then, on the day of the meeting, when you're asked one of the questions you've anticipated, just plug in your canned response. Deliver your mini-prepared speech of 1 to 2 minutes. But what if you're not asked a question that you anticipated? What if you're asked something else? Piece of cake. Have you ever watched a politician? They never answer the questions they're asked. They always reframe it. They find some kind of a transition from what they were asked to what their prepared talking points are. They change the subject to what they want to talk about. And that's all you have to do. Because when you're just starting out in table topics, as long as it's not a table topics contest, there's a misconception you have to actually answer the question. No, you just need to make verbal noise for 1 to 2 minutes. Open your mouth, let a few words fall out. The important thing is finding something, anything to say. Hopefully later you'll be able to answer questions. But for now, you just need to come up with something to talk about. So worst case scenario, a transition could be something as simple as, boy, that's a tough question. I'm not sure how I'd answer that. I really wish you had asked me yada, 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 because then I would have responded like this. And bam, you deliver the canned response to the question you transitioned to. Hopefully you can come up with a better transition than that. Case in point, decades ago, and this was in the dark ages before we had microwave ovens, when food had to be prepared in real ovens and on real stoves, we had an upcoming meeting with a theme of favorite foods. I remember the night before, laying in bed, trying to fall asleep, I started thinking about all the foods I love to eat. Thick, juicy steaks, large, fresh garden salads, Alaskan king crab legs, lobster, all sorts of fancy, expensive, wonderful foods. I mulled that over in my mind over and over and over again, thinking about how I would respond to a question about these favorite foods of mine. I arrived at the meeting prepared with my canned table topic response. I was so ready until the Toastmaster asked me, or Table Topics Master, asked me a question I was not prepared for. He asked, "What do you think about TV dinners?" Like, time out. I'm not ready for that question. I wasn't ready to answer that. But thankfully, I came up with this transition. If by TV dinners you mean that waxy frozen food in those little aluminum trays, I don't think much about them at all. However, my concept of a TV dinner is a very nice, fancy, elegant restaurant. And over in the corner, they have a television that they never turn on. at that restaurant, the foods I love to order and eat are, bam, transition finished. I can deliver my prepared response on my favorite foods. So again, if you're asked a question you're not ready for, just transition to something you are ready for. This is a cheat, it's a hack. It's a way to get through those early stages when you're having trouble thinking on your feet. It's a crutch you need to outgrow, and you will over time. But during the early meetings, if you're struggling mightily with table topics, this crutch, this cheat can help. Find the theme of the meeting. Anticipate the questions you're likely to be asked. Prepare responses to each of those likely questions. And if you're asked something else, just figure out a transition. Worst case, just say, oh man, I wish you had asked me this question instead, because my answer would have been, bam, your prepared response. That's how you can cheat at table topics. I hope this helps. I'm Rick Sharon, your toast coach.